Okay, thank you everyone for joining this webinar about making the most of Microsoft Partners Network, MPN and Partner Centre. Together, these two platforms form a hub for Microsoft partners, and they are packed with a wide range of tools and resources that are very relevant to someone who is trying to build and grow a partner practice. Today, what we would like to do is give you all a tour of both of these sites so that you can get familiar with everything that's available on there and you know where to look where you're trying to do something specific with your partner practice. I'm your host. My name is Sandra Kutsenko. I'm the Director of Training Services at 365 Talent Portal, and as such, I have spent the last almost 7 years now leading the delivery of career and training solutions focused on Microsoft business applications. As a part of my role, I've been working closely with a number of partners and I've been advising them on various aspects of their partner practices. And it turns out that actually as a part of the conversations that we've been having with partners about their hiring or training needs, other aspects of the partner practice, came out. And we ended up having to learn more about, well, everything that goes around being a partner in the Microsoft ecosystem. I'm also the person who is in charge of our learning partner practice at 365 Talent Portal. And through that, I've actually also had to learn myself firsthand how to use and leverage the various tools that are made available by Microsoft for partners. And all that has led to us creating a downloadable guide called How to Build and Grow a Successful Microsoft Partner Practice. And if you're here on this call, you might already have downloaded this guide. It gathers everything that we've learned through supporting partners and through building our own learning partner practice, and then some additional tools that we gathered through research in areas that we realized, where there was maybe a need for a little bit more guidance. So that downloadable guide turned out to be our most popular downloadable guide ever. It's very, very often downloaded by people. So from that, we got the idea that it might be valuable to create a webinar series around the topics that we covered in the guide so that we can dig into those in a little bit more depth. And let me say a few words about this webinar series before diving into our topic for anyone who's interested. So today's webinar is the very first one, so you're catching the series at the beginning. And we're going to be running at least 4 more webinars over the next 18 months. And this is an overview of the topics that we will be covering. So today's webinar is going to be a general overview of MPN and Partner Centre so that you can easily find your way through it and you are aware of everything that you can do with those two platforms. And then in the following webinars, we're going to be diving more deeply into specific areas. And every time we dive into a more specific area, we're going to go back to MPN and Partner Centre, and we're going to show you in more details the specific resources that are relevant to the area that we are talking about. So webinar number 1, overview of MPN and Partner Centre. Webinar number 2 is going to be a dive into partner memberships and solution areas. We will touch upon these topics a little bit today to explain the general concept of it, but in the second webinar, we're really going to dive deeply into the different types of memberships and competencies and how it works and how you can reach different levels of competencies. Webinar number 3 will be about building and training your team as a Microsoft partner, and we'll share best practices for hiring and training in the Microsoft ecosystem. Webinar number 4 will talk about the tools that are made available by Microsoft to support you to find customers and get recognized as a partner. And webinar number 5 will be around the tools that you can use to grow an existing Microsoft partner practice and expand into different solution areas. If you want to be made aware of the webinars as they come out, you can either subscribe to our newsletter or follow our LinkedIn page. We're going to be posting on there when we have the dates available for these. And a few quick words about 365 Talent Portal. So we're a career and skilling portal specializing in Microsoft technologies with a niche focus on Microsoft business applications. As a company, we've been in the Microsoft space for 8 years. We have founders who are ex-Microsoft or ex-partners. And our goal as a company is to help close the skill gap in the Microsoft space. And we do this by offering hiring and training services. So we have a learning partner practice, we have a hiring portal, and we have rather deep now expertise of the Microsoft ecosystem, which is kind of our added value, is that we've really been focusing on providing advice and guidance alongside with our services, and we really support people to navigate Microsoft technologies specifically. Okay, so for today's webinar, if you have questions about the topics that we cover, please pop them into the chat. Elena, our CEO at 365 Talent Portal, will be keeping an eye on the chat and answer any questions that she can answer in there in writing. I'll be pausing a few times as well throughout the webinar to see if there's anything that I can answer that maybe Elena didn't. And if there are any questions that neither one of us can answer, what we're going to do is we're going to go and find the answers for you, and then we'll email them to everyone after the webinar. Okay, so let's get started with the tour of the Microsoft Partner Network. So MPN is your dedicated Microsoft Partner Hub. And if you're not yet a Microsoft partner, or if you're just getting started, this is where your journey begins. And the first thing that I'd like to say here is that you can register on MPN as a Microsoft partner for free. So if you have not already done this, I recommend this as your very first step in your Microsoft partner journey. You'll see through the tour that a number of the resources on MPN are only available to partners who are registered and logged in. So you will be needing an account in order to be able to access most of what we're going to be showing you. This picture here on this slide is what the MPN homepage looks like when you're logged out. So this is what you come onto when you don't have an account, you're logged out. And you'll see a lot of the pages actually look different when you're logged in, and you can get access to a different range of products and services. If you're logged out, most of the pages are about getting you to register and log in, and then you log in and you get access to all the interesting resources. So if you're at that point where you need to get started, you'll need to go to the MPN homepage. We'll be sending you the presentation afterwards, so you'll have that URL from this slide and you'll be able to click it. And once you see this screen that's showing here, all you need to do is click the button, Become a Partner, and the tool is going to take you through the process of registering. Now, this is what the MPN homepage looks like when you are registered as a partner and logged in. The first thing I'd like to point out here is there's a big button on the header that says Visit Partner Centre. So we'll cover what's behind this button in the second part of the tour. Right now, we just want to point out that if you're looking for your access to Partner Centre, it is right there on the MPN homepage, and it's also at the top right of the screen. The other thing that you can see at the top of the screen is a menu with a list of topics that are all very relevant to your Microsoft partner practice. And what we're going to be doing in this tour is go through each of these areas, and we're going to explain a little bit what the area is about, and then we're going to point out which interesting tools are available in there that you can go and check, and where you need to go first if you're getting started as a partner as well. And we will start with the membership tab. So first, let me explain very high level what a partner membership is for anyone on the call who's not entirely familiar with this. Your partner membership represents the type and level of your engagement with Microsoft. So the memberships are something that you pay for, and in return, you get a certain set of benefits that support you to build and grow a more successful partner practice. There are different levels of memberships that are available to you as a partner, and for some of those levels, you need to meet certain criteria to qualify before you are able to purchase them. This is the typical example that you're probably aware of is silver and gold memberships. So if you want to get a silver membership, there is a fee associated to that. But before you can pay the fee, you do need to meet certain criteria that have to do with revenue and with certifications. So just to explain it as a process for the beginning, if you're a new partner, you'll start your journey by registering to MPN for free, as we've shown on the previous slide. The second stage is to get your first level of membership, and we'll go through this very soon. And then the next stages are going to be to gain your qualifications so that you can earn a silver competency and then maybe even a gold competency and get to those different levels of membership. We're going to be covering memberships in much more details in the second webinar. But so for now, what we really want to show you is that this is the tab where you will go if you want to learn more about what partner memberships are, how they work, and what might be available to you as a partner. What we'll do here is we'll show you two pages that we believe are the most relevant pages to you. Again, if you're getting started and looking to learn about the different memberships. The first one is Get Started Here. So, well, as the name states, it's a great place to get started. This page has first some information about how Partner Centre works, and it's a good place to start if you've never really used proper Partner Centre in any depth. It gives you some steps that you can follow and some explanations as to what Partner Centre does. And there's two other things that we'd like to show here on that page. The first one is the resource that says see which partner offer is right for you. That's also a great way to learn about what partner offers are and you know which one you could choose. And the second link here that's interesting is the link to the solution builder. We're actually going to show the solution builder later on. It's a really fun tool that's been implemented by Microsoft that can support you to build a new solution and package it and market it. The second thing we want to show you that you can access from the membership tab is the Microsoft Action Pack page. So we've talked just now about memberships and how they work and silver and gold competencies. The Action Pack is your very first level of membership that you can get without qualifying for silver or gold or without meeting any criteria. You can just go and buy an Action Pack if you're a registered partner. So if you're looking to work with Microsoft, this is the first page where you need to go, and that's going to get you started with a first level of benefits and a first range of opportunities that you can take. And then as you progress, you're going to start meeting criteria and you're going to start being able to get silver or gold memberships in recognition for your achievements as a partner. Now moving on to the Solutions tab. So this tab is all around the different solutions that you can sell as a Microsoft partner, the associated business opportunities, and the marketing resources that you can leverage in order to sell your solutions. Let's start by saying a few words around the solution areas. So here you can see the solution areas are divided into three large categories. You've got modern workplace, which is around Microsoft 365 and Office 365 products. You've got business applications, which encompasses Dynamics 365 and Power Apps. And the last area is Microsoft Azure. So to go back to a situation where you're a new partner, one of your first steps is going to be to determine which solution area you want to get into first. And these 3 pages can support you to understand which solution area might be right for you, what kind of opportunity is associated to them, and how you would go about getting started. The business opportunities area is there to support you to understand different types of business opportunities associated with the products. And again, it's a good idea to check out the different pages to understand what might be there and what might be right for you. And the marketing tools, we're actually going to cover a little bit more in a future webinar because there's some very interesting resources in there. Microsoft is always developing more and more tools to support their partners with marketing and selling solutions. And this is where you can get started to learn about what those tools are and how you can use them to make your offering known to people. For today, we're again going to be zooming in on 2 pages under the Solutions tab that are very useful to someone who's either a recent partner or getting started with MPN. The first one is the one that's called Build a Practice under here, Business Opportunity. I'm actually quite excited about this one. So this is part of, again, Microsoft's efforts to put a lot of resources together into accompanying new partners to be more successful. This is a 5-phase approach to practice development that's been developed by Microsoft. And you can see on here, you've got 5 different steps. And under there, you've got links to different playbooks and different guides, which are very useful and very good. So this is something that I really recommend everyone checks out. Even if you're not an entirely new partner, it can be a great way to evaluate where you are and if there's something you could do better in a specific area. So yeah, great page. I really recommend everyone takes a look at it. And the other cool tool that we would like to look at today is the Solution Builder. We've touched upon this a little bit earlier, and it's a very fun tool to go through if you're looking into starting a new solution. So all you have to do here is you click the button, you enter the details of the solution that you've built or that you're thinking of building, and the tool is going to come up with a variety of resources to support you to package it, to sell it, and to market it. Moving on to the training tab. That's a very interesting one. So we mentioned earlier a little bit around the fact that certifications are very relevant to your success as a partner in terms of competencies. Training is also very important. Obviously, if you're going to deliver solutions, you want your team to be able to know how to work with the solutions. So as learning partners, we've got a lot to say about training. We're not going to dive into this too deeply. Again, there's another webinar coming up with a lot more information. But the first thing that's very interesting to know is that this tab is all about training resources and actually more specifically free training resources that you can leverage as a partner. And it's built in such a way that it can help you to get started if you're not quite sure how to build your training plans and what you need at the moment. So again, for the purpose of today, we're going to zoom in on 2 different pages that are very useful in this area. The first one is the page that's called Training Options. And like I was saying before, this is a tool. So the first one here, the skills assessment tool, that can support you to find out what your team's current training needs are and what's the most important area that you need to focus on based on where you are as a partner and what you're looking to do. And the other interesting tool is the guide to the right that's called Find and Keep the Right Talent, which is a downloadable playbook where you can learn how to find and retain talent in the Microsoft ecosystem. And then the third thing is the link to the training center. So there's a training center that is hosted on MPN. And on there you can go and you can see learning path by role. And that's actually the second page we're going to show now. So the training center on the partner network is presented in this way. And as you can see, there's 4 big role-based areas that you can check out based on, what you're looking for at the moment, what your current role is, or what your current team's roles are. And under each role, you're gonna have access to a set of learning paths that leverage free resources that you can go through and use to get yourself started in training your team in your solution area of choice. Next up is the Connect tab. So, as you may know, in the Microsoft world, it's very important to stay up to date with what's happening, including things like product updates or Microsoft events or announcements. So this is the tab where you can start to do that. It's got a lot of pages that can allow you to follow what Microsoft are publishing. You can read up on product and industry news, and you can also keep yourself aware of the Microsoft partner events, which is, again, a great way to actually stay up to date with industry news or to network. And again, we're going to show a couple of interesting pages that you can access from there. The first one is the Microsoft Partner blog. That's a really good resource to keep an eye on to get news and tips. And sometimes on there, Microsoft publishes some inspiring stories around something a partner's done that's been successful, and maybe that could give you an idea. Tips around building your practice, things like how you can use certain specific resources that are available to you as a partner. So yeah, that's a very good page to bookmark and come back to on a regular basis, and then, just read through the articles that are relevant to you. And the other great resource that we really recommend joining is the Microsoft Partner Community. And on here, you can check out discussions that other people are having around Microsoft products. You can start your own discussions. You can get community support about a challenge that you're encountering. You can network with people. You can connect with highly valued professionals in the area. So all of that is and you've got also a link to the partner event calendar, which I believe is the same link as the one that you can get through the MPN page directly. But again, so it's a good way to know what's happening in the Microsoft world. Now, before moving on to Partner Center, let me check the chat. I don't believe I've seen any questions. I'll pause just maybe for a minute, and if anyone has questions about MPN and wants to pop them in the chat, now is the time. Okay, I'm not seeing any activity around there, so I will proceed with Microsoft Partner Center. But if anything comes up, just pop it in the chat, and Elena is keeping an eye on it. Okay, actually, let me go back before I show you this. So just as a quick reminder, if you're looking to reach your Partner Center account, you can do this through your MPN homepage once you're logged in, either via the header or via the top right corner. And of course, in order to get access to Partner Center, you first need to have an MPN account that we've described earlier on how to create. Okay, so this is your Partner Center dashboard. This is what it looks like. You can see that you've got a number of links that are fairly similar topics to what we've covered earlier. So it points you towards resources that can support you to get started, to start building your solutions, to publish and manage them. And also it has a link to marketing and sales resources. On the right-hand side, you can see a number of links to specific training resources by topic and resources that you can use to network and connect with other partners. So again, these are very good resources to click through and have a look at. Particularly, I want to point out the very top one, Microsoft Learn, under Partner Training and Learning. It's the Microsoft Learning Hub, and it has everything from a huge amount now of free training resources. And this is where you can go and book certification exams and, you know, register for a Microsoft Learner profile. So that's an excellent website. If you're not registered on there yet, I really recommend that you go and register and get a Microsoft Learn account. So the left-hand side, the dark area, has your menu, including, you know, links to the different programs you're a part of. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do something similar to the MPN Tour and show you a few good functionalities to know about if you're getting started. And before we move on, I would like to point out the support tabs on the left-hand side. As you can see, there are two different support like areas, one at the bottom and one near the middle. Yes, the website for booking exams is Microsoft Learn. I will type it in the chat. Here we go. So if you type that into Google, you will find the website. So the support tabs, there's two different tabs, but they actually lead you to the same page. And this is where you can log support requests if you're having any challenging using Partner Centre. And actually, I want to say the support team is really great. We've used them a few times and always they're very keen to help and we get answers very quickly. So if you've got any challenges and any questions, I want to encourage you to make use of this tool because it's actually really, really good. We're not going to show it to you because it's actually a very simple page. So if you click the support links, you just have a big button that says create a new request and that's all you need to do. And then it's going to ask you for some details about what you're having a challenge with. And you can also track your existing support requests on there. Before I move on to the next thing, I see a few questions here. Elena, let me know if there's any.
So I'm addressing it, Ted. So you do need a company work email plus a legal name and address. Plus you'll need the authority to sign legal documents. So yeah, unfortunately, you need all of this.
Thank you, Elena. Okay, so the first thing that I'd like to show is how to access your account settings. And I know it sounds very simple, but it actually took me a little while to find it and also to understand which specific functionalities are available on there. So, I mean, to access it, you need to find the gear at the top right, and then you click account settings. But what is interesting is the amount of settings that you have here, and actually some of them are relevant to your ability to publish your solutions onto the different solution areas that you can advertise your solutions on. So as you can see, it's got a number of things related to your company's legal information. You can start setting up a company profile. You can set up your advisor profile, your billing profile. And if you're new to Partner Centre and you've never used it before, it's a good place to go first to check that everything is filled in the way that you want it to be. The next thing I want to show you is membership offers. Earlier, we talked about how if you're getting started as a partner, you would first purchase a Microsoft Action Pack, and then as you gain experience and you start qualifying for silver or gold competencies, you can upgrade your membership to a silver or gold membership. This is the tab where you can manage this. So here, as you can see, this is an example of a partner who is on a Microsoft Action Pack, but now qualifies for a silver membership and potentially could buy the membership if they wanted to by clicking the subscribe button. So this happens automatically as soon as you start meeting silver or gold criteria. It's going to show up under offers available for purchase, and you'll just be able to go and purchase the offer and start benefiting from everything that's associated with it. And speaking of competencies, I would like to show you as well the tab where you can track your partner competencies. And say a few more words about competencies, actually. So this here shows every single competency. Well, if you scroll down, it shows a part of every single competency that you can qualify for. And if you don't really know much about competency, let me explain a little bit here. And particularly the fact that competencies work per solution. So here, those little things in blue are examples of solutions that you can get a competency into. For example, you've got a line here called Cloud Business Applications, which means that you could get a silver Cloud Business Application competency by meeting some specific criteria related to cloud business applications. And as we've mentioned earlier, it's typically related to revenue and certifications. So what that means is if you wanted to be a silver partner in cloud business applications, you would first need to generate a certain amount of revenue in specifically cloud business application solutions by selling them to customers. And you would also need to have a certain amount of people on your team passing relevant certification exams related to cloud business applications. And then there are some other criteria as well. But this is an example so you understand, and it works in similar ways across different competency areas. Now, if you click those different links, it's going to take you to the specific page of the competency. So for example, if I were to click cloud business applications, it would take me to a page where I would see all of the criteria specifically for meeting that competency in silver and in gold. And I would be able to see as well how I'm tracking against those criteria. So for example, if I'm meeting one of the criteria, if I've got, the right amount of people with the certification exams, it's going to show me that. And if I'm not meeting the revenue criteria, it's going to show me that as well. So that's why training is super important for partners. It's actually quite a big part of, allowing you to get towards silver and gold competencies. And I just saw a question around adding contractors to the competency list. So if you mean, yeah, Elena's answered that. So if you mean being able to associate someone to you who's a contractor so you can benefit from their certification exams, that's absolutely possible. And as Elena mentioned, they need to agree to share it with you and not with other partners. Okay. The next tab that I want to talk about is the Benefits tab. Oh, and actually every tab that we've covered so far, I should have said, is under the MPN, the general MPN tab. So if you go to your Partner Centre account, to find those different areas, you'll first need to click MPN, and then you will be able to see those different things we've shown. So the Benefits tab, if you're an action-packed partner, a silver partner, or a gold partner, or even a partner with an advanced competency, you will have access to a variety of benefits. Depending on your membership level, you will get more or less of certain benefits. So this is the tab where you can access all of your benefits and make use of them. Under the Azure and Cloud tab, you'll be able to manage your Azure credits, Dynamics 365 licenses, and Office 365 licenses. Software is for things like your Windows keys. Technical benefits are for your specific Microsoft product support hours. So if you're a Microsoft partner with any kind of membership, then you qualify for personalized product support and a certain amount of free support hours. And so this is where you can make use of them. And the Go-to-Market tab has a number of marketing benefits that you can activate and benefit from. So that's actually a really good one to check out as well. If you're getting started, just go to the Go-to-Market tab, activate everything on there and start playing around with the different tools to see what you can leverage. And finally, the logo builder is a nice little tool that you can use to build your Microsoft partner logo. And it's particularly useful if you've reached a silver or a gold competency. You know, it's where you can do those little silver and gold partner logos to put onto your website. I see there's a question that requires my attention. Licensing, yeah, we're going to be diving in licensing a little bit deeper. I know we did start the conversation around membership just so that we could explain the different pages. But this is a large topic, so this will be in the next webinar. We're going to go into much more depth into the memberships and into the different ways that you can engage with Microsoft as a partner. Okay, moving on to another important thing to do if you're a new partner or if you have not done it yet is make sure you have set up your business profile. To set up your business profile, you need to first click the referrals tab and then business profile. And then you can start creating profiles for each region that you have a physical location in. Why is this important? It's because those solutions, those profiles that you create will be listed in the solution provider directory, which means that customers can find you through there. I'll show you what the solution provider directory looks like. So this is the website from a customer point of view. This is something you'll be taken through if you type on Google that you're looking for a Microsoft partner, for example. That's a website that's going to come up as a result. And here customers can search for partners per location and per solution or service. So that's why it's very important to fill in your business profile so that it matches everything that's going to show up in there, because that's a great way to be found by customer. Okay, so that's the tour of Partner Center. And as you can see, there's so much more that we haven't been able to cover yet, but we will dive deeper into those areas in future webinars because there is so much more to say about everything that we've already covered today. So the goal of this was really to get you started and understanding what the two websites can do and what kind of resources you can access and where you can start looking if you've got a specific area of your business that you want to dig into. If you've got some topics that are of particular interest to you and you really want us to cover it in the next webinars, please do pop it in the chat because we can make sure that they are there when we can get there. Now, just a few closing words. We've talked a little bit today about the importance of training for Microsoft partners. So as a thank you for joining this webinar, we'd like to offer everyone a 20% discount on all training courses. The discount is valid until October 9th, so you need to use it before October 9th if you wish to use it, but you can book a course at any point in the future. You'll be receiving a discount voucher in a follow-up email. If you do not get the voucher in the email but you want it, please get in touch and we'll make sure that you receive it. We also want to mention, if you don't already know about it, that we're running a free Power Platform Fundamentals training course on Saturday, October 9th. If you're looking to get started with Microsoft Power Platform, please join. Everyone is welcome. And you also will get the link to this event in your follow-up email. And finally, just a few words about overall our Microsoft training services. If anyone's looking to organize a big training event or even a small training event, just to say in terms of topics, we cover, as we mentioned, Microsoft Business Applications, Microsoft Azure, Microsoft 365 and Microsoft Security across all possible roles. We can do, we have our open schedule. We can also organize private sessions or even just a simple trainer hire if you've got an event that's already organized and you just need a trainer, we can provide that for you. And things like train the trainer, custom training, so anything related to training someone into those 3 topics, you can get in touch. And if you would like to know more about this, please don't hesitate to contact us at these address, email, accounts, etc.